When you think of the Vikings, you probably imagine fierce warriors, crossing violent seas and facing epic battles. Now, what if I told you that behind all this brutality was a profound philosophy that connects directly to Stoicism? Yes, these ferocious Norsemen had more in common with the rational serenity of Stoic philosophers than you might think. Here's the curious point. While the Vikings faced life with unbridled courage, Stoicism teaches us to find inner strength amid chaos. Doesn't that sound like an unlikely combination? Have you ever wondered how the Vikings managed to cope with constant uncertainty? The answer might surprise you. They possessed a mindset that, in some ways, reflected the teachings of the greatest Stoics in history. But don't be fooled. This doesn't mean they were peaceful philosophers. On the contrary, they combined brute strength and inner wisdom in a way that few understand, even today. In this video, you will discover how Stoicism and Viking wisdom can transform your approach to life's challenges, bringing serenity, resilience, and perhaps even a touch of warrior motivation. Get ready for a journey that will challenge you to rethink what it means to have strength, both physical and mental. And the best part? You don't need to wield an axe to adopt this philosophy in your life. Through simple, applicable, and deeply effective principles, you will see that resilience is not reserved for ancient warriors. It can be within your reach right now. You just need to understand what these philosophies can do for you. Let's explore together this improbable and powerful union that could be the secret to overcoming any battle life throws your way. At first glance, Stoic philosophy and Viking wisdom may seem to walk in opposite directions. Stoicism, born in ancient Greece, is based on calm rationality, while the Vikings, northern warriors, are known for their brute strength and courage on the battlefield. However, at their core, both philosophical systems share something fundamental: the pursuit of inner strength, the cultivation of resilience, and the focus on honor. This subtle connection between two such distinct cultures teaches us that true wisdom transcends cultural boundaries. Interestingly, both Stoics and Vikings had a clear understanding of the importance of standing firm in the face of adversity. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great names in Stoicism, believed that true strength came from mastering our emotions and accepting fate with serenity. In Viking mythology, stories of heroes like Ragnar Lodbrok illustrate a similar acceptance of fate, where honor and courage were held above any fear of death. Both understood that life is unpredictable, but how we respond to it defines our quality of life. And if we think about it, this also applies to the elderly. Many life challenges, such as mental health and emotional well-being, become more evident as the years go by. Yet both Stoics and Vikings show us that even amid difficulties, it is possible to live with dignity and purpose. For someone in their twilight years, focusing on inner resilience could be the key to aging healthily, with an active mind and a vibrant life. The wisdom from these two worlds can serve as a compass for those seeking quality of life and overcoming challenges in their later years. Curiously, these philosophies also highlight the importance of community and emotional support for older adults. In Stoicism, the sense of duty to society was crucial. Meanwhile, Vikings valued loyalty to their clan, placing the protection and well-being of the tribe above all else. Applying these concepts in modern life reinforces the idea that to age well, it is essential to have a support network, whether formed by family, friends, or the community itself. No one needs to face life's difficulties alone. Now, imagine integrating these principles into your own life. What if you adopted the Stoic serenity when dealing with daily challenges and the Viking strength to overcome any adversity? Mental health and emotional well-being in later life often depend on this union of philosophies, a balance between the rational acceptance of challenges and the brute strength to face them with courage. This combination could be the key to aging gracefully and, above all, with purpose. For both Stoics and Vikings, suffering was not something to be avoided, but rather an inevitable part of life that, when faced with courage, could lead to profound inner growth. Stoics believed that pain was a teacher, a test for the mind and soul. Seneca, one of the great masters of this philosophy, argued that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control our reaction. For the Vikings, suffering, especially in battle, was a way to achieve glory and honor, whether in life or in death. This shared perspective teaches us something valuable for modern times, especially for those facing challenges in later life. Mental health is often tested at this stage of life, with losses, illnesses, and physical limitations. Stoic serenity, in accepting what cannot be changed, can provide great relief. Meanwhile, Viking courage to face difficulties head-on brings a sense of inner strength that can inspire resilience in later life, paving the way for healthy aging and a dignified quality of life. Think about how to apply this in your daily life. Imagine someone dealing with reduced mobility. Stoicism would suggest that this person accept physical limitations as part of life cycle while focusing on what can be controlled, such as keeping the mind active, cultivating relationships, or seeking new ways to enjoy life. Similarly, the Viking mentality would encourage the person to face the situation with bravery and seek adaptation, whether by learning new ways to move or embracing an active life despite limitations. In Norse mythology, Vikings believed that by facing pain and death bravely, they were rewarded in the afterlife with a place in Valhalla, the great hall of warriors. This metaphor can be seen in practice as a lesson for us. By confronting life's challenges, especially in later life, we can find a kind of Valhalla within ourselves, where serenity and strength of character reward us with emotional well-being and stronger mental health. After all, it's how we face challenges that helps us find our true peace. Finally, both Stoics and Vikings show us that suffering doesn't have to be faced with bitterness. On the contrary, it is an opportunity to exercise resilience, self-control, and courage. And who says this doesn't apply to modern life? The way we handle life's ups and downs determines our quality of life in later years. Thus, the pursuit of serenity and inner strength becomes a daily practice, a choice that can transform even the most difficult moments into steps toward wisdom. Virtue, for both Stoics and Vikings, was the true treasure of life. While the Stoics viewed wisdom and self-control as the greatest paths to happiness, the Vikings placed honor and loyalty above all else. Although each philosophy has its nuances, both agreed that strength of character is key to a fulfilling life. In Stoicism, being virtuous meant acting in accordance with the principles of reason, justice, and morality. For the Vikings, virtue lay in fulfilling one's duty and protecting the clan, no matter the cost. This concept of virtue is something that can be applied in various areas of life today, especially in old age. As people grow older, many face deep reflections on their choices and the legacy they are leaving behind. At this moment, cultivating wisdom and honor becomes more relevant than ever. An elderly person seeking emotional well-being and quality of life can draw inspiration from Stoicism by practicing self-control over their fears and anxieties, while the Viking code of honor can guide them in maintaining family and social connections. The practice of Stoic virtue can begin with small daily actions, such as choosing to respond with patience in stressful situations or practicing gratitude even in the most challenging moments. Books like Meditations by Marcus Aurelius are an excellent starting point for those who wish to understand and apply this wisdom. Meanwhile, Viking philosophy inspires us to live according to a code of honor, keeping our word and caring for those we love, which is also an excellent remedy for cultivating a sense of purpose and resilience. In old age, when emotional support and care for mental health become essential, it is virtue that keeps us strong. Just as the Vikings protected their tribes, the Stoics safeguarded their principles. Both show us that, regardless of external circumstances, true strength comes from within. This inner strengthening, whether through the practice of Stoic wisdom or the pursuit of Viking honor, can transform aging into a journey of growth rather than a period of decline. Therefore, by adopting these pillars of wisdom and virtue, it is possible to build a life of purpose and dignity, even in the face of the challenges that arise with aging. It is not merely about survival, but about living actively, striving to be an example of perseverance in later life. After all, true virtue lies in how we face life, and both the Stoics and the Vikings understood this very well. Detachment from material possessions is a central theme in both Stoicism and Viking wisdom. While the two philosophies approach this concept differently, they both agree that true wealth lies not in possessions, but in inner strength and wisdom. In Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius reminds us that everything we own is transient and that attachment to material things only brings suffering. On the other hand, for the Vikings, material detachment was lived in practice, as they valued more the legacy left in their conquests and the courage displayed in battle. This concept of detachment is especially relevant in old age when many begin to reflect on what truly matters in life. Often, mental health and emotional well-being are linked to the ability to let go of what is fleeting and focus on what brings meaning. Thus, both Stoic thought and Viking philosophy teach us that accumulating possessions will not bring satisfaction. What matters is how we handle challenges and how we leave our mark on the world. Imagine a dialogue between a Viking and Marcus Aurelius. The Viking would speak of the importance of facing life with courage, while the Roman emperor would highlight the value of self-control. This type of reflection is useful when it comes to understanding the relationship between detachment and spirituality. For the Vikings, the act of fighting for the clan was a form of spiritual connection. For the Stoics, the practice of accepting what cannot be controlled and focusing on virtue was the path to inner peace. Both believed that true wealth was found in the spirit, not in possessions. Applying this in everyday life can be transformative. For those facing old age and its limitations, material detachment can be a source of relief. Instead of focusing on what has been lost, whether in terms of mobility or ability, one can seek an active life centered on emotional and spiritual connections. Emotional well-being is thus built by focusing on legacy, the wisdom left for others, and not on material goods that will eventually fade. Detachment is also a gateway to freedom. Whether in Stoicism or Viking life, the less attached one is to material things. The freer one is to face life with courage and serenity. This concept of inner freedom can transform how we age, allowing mental and emotional health to be preserved, and making old age a phase of peace and connection rather than a quest for possessions that we ultimately cannot take with us. For the Vikings, honor was not something earned individually, but collectively. The well-being of the clan was paramount, and loyalty to tribe members was one of the most respected values. Similarly, in Stoicism, justice and duty to others were fundamental pillars. Seneca reminds us that by helping others, we are helping ourselves, as we are all part of a larger social body. This deep connection between honor and community is one of the strongest bridges between Stoicism and Viking wisdom. These principles of honor and loyalty are especially valuable in old age when emotional support and social networks become crucial to quality of life. The mental health of older individuals is directly linked to their sense of belonging, knowing that they are still part of a community and can contribute in some way. Whether by actively participating in support groups, helping family members, or sharing wisdom, the sense of honor towards others can be a way to age with dignity and purpose. In an imagined dialogue between a Viking leader and Seneca, we can picture the leader speaking about the importance of protecting the clan, while Seneca would highlight the moral duty we have to humanity. Both perspectives show us that, in practice, honoring others and strengthening our community are ways to ensure our own survival and emotional well-being. In old age, this philosophy manifests itself when the elderly engage in activities that benefit others, finding purpose in caring for and being cared for. This loyalty to others can be applied in various forms. For example, visiting an elderly neighbor, participating in community groups, or even teaching something new to grandchildren are all ways to strengthen the honor of community. These simple actions have a huge impact on the mental and emotional health of both the giver and the receiver. Just as the Vikings relied on collective strength to win battles, we too can overcome life's challenges alongside others, building a sense of belonging and security. By putting these concepts into practice, we see that honoring others is not merely an ancient principle, but a modern necessity. Stoicism and Viking philosophy, despite their temporal and spatial distance, teach us that true strength and emotional well-being come from mutual support. Aging with wisdom also means aging in community, where protection and loyalty translate into an active, connected life filled with purpose. Discipline and self-control are undoubtedly the cornerstones of both Stoicism and Viking life. In Stoicism, controlling one's emotions and desires is the path to true freedom. Epictetus, one of the great Stoics, reminds us that what is within our control are our choices, and it is upon these that we should focus. For the Vikings, discipline manifested itself in the ability to maintain honor and courage, even in the most challenging conditions, whether in battle or in everyday life. Both Stoics and Vikings viewed self-control as a way to prepare for confronting fate. These principles of discipline can be particularly powerful in later life, when the body may begin to face limitations, but the mind remains capable of strengthening. Mental health and emotional well-being heavily depend on the ability to exercise self-control. For many, it is easy to fall into despair in the face of aging difficulties, but Stoicism teaches that by maintaining discipline over our thoughts, we can find peace even amidst challenges. Similarly, Viking discipline reminds us to face life with courage, regardless of our circumstances. For example, an elderly person struggling with loss of mobility might find discipline to be a tool to keep life active. This could translate into a daily routine of moderate exercise, outdoor walks, or engaging in activities that keep the mind occupied, such as reading or meditation. Physical and mental discipline, as taught by the Stoics and Vikings, prepares us for the inevitable ups and downs of life. Self-control allows us to move forward with dignity and strength. For the Vikings, the battlefield demanded physical discipline, while the Stoic cultivated mental discipline. In later life, both types of discipline are equally important. The mind and body need to be trained to face adversities. Emotional self-control, for instance, can help maintain calm in frustrating moments, such as dealing with health issues or physical limitations. Physical discipline can help prevent illnesses and maintain mobility, essential for an active and healthy life. These lessons in discipline and self-control can transform how we age. By adopting a disciplined approach both in mind and body, it is possible to find a path of resilience and strength, even when destiny seems adverse. Both Stoics and Vikings believe that true power comes from within, and this wisdom can guide us throughout life, especially in later years when overcoming challenges becomes a daily practice. Although Stoicism and Viking wisdom come from such different worlds, it is fascinating how their philosophies converge in practice. On one side, Stoicism, with its focus on reason and emotional control, offers a path to serenity in the face of challenges. On the other, the Vikings, with their emphasis on honor and courage, show that life should be lived with intensity and determination. However, both teach us that regardless of the path chosen, true strength lies in how we deal with the adversities that arise throughout life. This union of philosophies can be particularly powerful for those seeking to live their later years with purpose. Mental health and emotional well-being during this stage of life heavily depend on how we choose to face challenges. Whether accepting with serenity as proposed by Stoicism or confronting with courage as taught by the Vikings, it is possible to find a path of resilience and overcoming. The key is understanding that in both cases, the focus lies in how we shape our character to deal with whatever life brings. Stoic wisdom teaches us to seek inner peace by focusing on what is within our control and letting go of what we cannot change. Meanwhile, Viking philosophy challenges us to never give up and to face whatever comes our way with bravery and determination. By combining these two ways of thinking, individuals can cultivate an inner strength that will help them overcome the challenges of later life, whether through acceptance or action. In both scenarios, it is crucial to remain active, both mentally and physically, to ensure a full and meaningful life. If we take a moment to reflect, the combination of these philosophies shows us that aging with wisdom and resilience is not merely a matter of luck, but a matter of choice. We can choose to live life with purpose, seizing every opportunity to learn, grow, and contribute to our community. Just like the Vikings and Stoics did, we can turn challenges into opportunities for growth, whether by seeking Stoic self-control or Viking courage. Both paths lead us to true inner strength. Ultimately, both Stoicism and Viking wisdom reveal that life is filled with uncertainties. But what truly matters is how we choose to face those uncertainties. Whether with the reason of the Stoics or the bravery of the Vikings, the secret lies in cultivating a mindset of resilience and honor. With this combination of philosophies, we can navigate any challenge that life presents, living with courage, serenity, and purpose, even in our later years. Now that you know the powerful union between Stoicism and Viking wisdom, are you ready to apply these teachings in your own life? Take a moment to reflect. How have you been facing daily challenges? Have you allowed adversities to define your path? Or are you taking control of your reactions, maintaining courage in the face of difficulties? Remember, both the Stoics and the Vikings taught us that true strength lies within us, in how we choose to respond to chaos. Are you ready to live with more resilience, discipline, and courage? Don't let the ups and downs of life derail your purpose. Start now by practicing Stoic self-control and Viking bravery. Small steps can make a significant difference. Perhaps your next conscious choice will be the beginning of a profound transformation. Why not try a different approach today to a challenge you are facing? If you want to continue down this path of overcoming an inner strength, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any content. Here, you will learn more about how to apply these ancient philosophies in the modern world. And don't forget to check out the video, The Viking Secret to Overcoming Challenges with Resilience and Mental Strength, where you will dive even deeper into the secrets that made the Vikings masters of resilience.